Today I'll be reviewing Season 2 Part 2 of the Misfit Demon King Academy. I was not a big fan of Season 2 Part 1, but I wanted to see if the series would get back on track. In Part 2, we are shown a flashback of Anos being a important goddess. Early on in Part 2, Anos was chosen to take part in the selection trial, where one person would be chosen to become a god. It's now essentially a battle between multiple candidates. I think I can speak for most people when I say, most people are lost in what was happening in Part 2. It seemed like one sudden important event after another, and we had no clue on what was really going on. In this case, it really did feel like much content from light novels cut out. Even for the events that made sense, I still wasn't impressed with them. It's just the most repetitive and boring thing. Basically, god candidates kept bragging to Anos that they can defeat him, and he's no threat to them. And of course, Anos made a fool out of them. That's fine and all for Season 1, but when you go past Season 1 and still see the same thing over and over, it's like, aren't you tired of this yet? The result is so predictable. In Season 1, at least Anos kills his enemies in brutal and satisfying ways. But in Season 2, Part 2, he just simply kills them. Not really much creativity. Some series just don't need a Season 2. Part 2 went horribly wrong, as it had some of the most cringiest scenes you'll ever see. Battles were won for the power of love, and through singing. I never thought the series would become this cringy and bad. How can you see embarrassing things like this, and think, yeah, this is a good way to defeat a powerful enemy? The only good thing about the season was the redemption Emilia got. It was nice seeing her finally realizing her flaws, and becoming a better person. It was nice seeing her make the most of her new life. Why couldn't the rest of the season have good writing like this? I don't care about any of the new characters in Part 2 of the season. None of them stood out to me. The opening song and ending song for Part 2 were forgettable. The music throughout the fight scenes was great at times. The animation style looked the same as it was in Season 2 Part 1, which is good, and the animation looked alright overall. I think I've seen all I needed to see from the series. Season 1 was great, and it was nice seeing a cool and overpowered protagonist. But this kind of story does not need to go on anymore. Everyone recognizes Anos as the Demon King. He basically helped solve most of the conflict in the world. There's not much more that needs to be done. This series just needs to be over with. I give Season 2 Part 2 a 4 out of 10.